a cycle, and Arjun was trapped in it. One Thursday evening, Arjun came home after the worst day at work. His boss had insulted him in front of everyone. His salary was delayed again, and the pressure was boiling inside him like a volcano waiting to erupt. When he opened the door, he saw Kabir sitting on the living room floor painting, colors everywhere, on the floor, on the walls, on his school uniform, and something inside Arjun snapped. "What have you done?" he screamed. "Do you know how hard I work to keep this house clean? You're useless, do you understand? Useless! I wish you would just disappear!" Kabir didn't cry. That's what scared Arjun later. The boy didn't cry. He just looked up at his father with those big brown eyes and quietly nodded. Then he picked up his painting, walked to his room, and closed the door. Arjun ate dinner alone that night. The house was silent. The next morning, Arjun woke up to a quiet that felt wrong. He walked to Kabir's room. The bed was made, the closet was half empty, and on the kitchen table was a small folded note written in a child's handwriting. Arjun opened it, and the 4 words hit him harder than anything ever had in his entire life. "I'm sorry, I'm useless." Arjun's legs gave out. He collapsed into the chair. His hands trembled. His eyes burned. The man who never cried broke down like a child. Kabir had gone to his mother's house. His ex-wife called an hour later and said only one thing. "He doesn't want to talk to you, Arjun. He's afraid of you." Afraid. His own son was afraid of him. Now, before I tell you what happened next, and trust me, the turning point of this story will give you chills. If this story is already making you feel something, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel tells stories that don't just entertain you, they change you, one story at a time. Subscribe, tap the bell icon, and let's continue, because what Arjun learned next saved his life. For the next 3 weeks, Arjun was a ghost. He went to work, he came home, he sat in silence. The house felt like a graveyard of memories. Every corner reminded him of Kabir, his laugh, his silly questions, his small shoes by the door. One afternoon, Arjun was sitting on a park bench staring at nothing when an old man sat down beside him. He was a carpenter, hands rough, face wrinkled with decades of wisdom. His name was Joseph. Joseph looked at Arjun and said something strange. "You look like a man who broke something he doesn't know how to fix." Arjun was stunned. He didn't know why, but he told this stranger everything. The anger, the screaming, the note, his son's eyes, everything. Joseph listened quietly. Then he said, "Come with me." He took Arjun to his small workshop behind the park. He handed him a hammer and a bag of nails and pointed to a beautiful, smooth wooden fence. "Every time you feel angry today, drive a nail into this fence." Arjun thought it was stupid, but he had nothing left to lose, so he did it. That first day, he hammered 14 nails. The next day, 11, then 8, then 5. After a month, Arjun went an entire day without hammering a single nail. He felt proud. He ran to tell Joseph. Joseph smiled. "Good. Now, pull every nail out." Arjun pulled them all out. It took hours. When he finished, Joseph walked him to the fence and said, "Look at the fence now." Arjun looked. The fence was full of holes, dark, ugly, deep holes that could never be filled. Joseph put his hand on Arjun's shoulder and said, "Arjun, when you say something in anger, you can pull the words back, you can apologize, but the holes stay forever. Your son's heart looks like this fence right now." Arjun couldn't speak. He just stared at those holes, and for the first time, he truly understood what his anger had done. That night, Arjun didn't sleep. He sat at his desk and wrote a letter to Kabir. Not a text message, not a phone call, a handwritten letter. He didn't make excuses. He didn't say, "But I was stressed." He wrote, "You are not useless. You never were. You were the best part of my life, and I was too blind and too angry to see it. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I want you to know I am changing, not tomorrow, starting right now." He mailed the letter, and then he waited. 2 weeks, no response. 3 weeks, nothing. Arjun kept working on himself. He read books on emotional control. He started meditating every morning. He began journaling his triggers. Slowly, the fire inside him started dying down. Then, one evening, a knock on the door. Arjun opened it, and there stood Kabir, holding the letter in one hand and his small bag in the other. The boy looked up at his father and said, "Are you really changing, Papa?" Arjun knelt down, tears streaming down his face, and whispered, "Every single day, son, every single day." Kabir dropped his bag and hugged his father, and in that moment, two broken hearts began to heal. If this story just made your heart heavy, good, that means you're human. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video with them right now. Hit subscribe, because every week I share stories like this. Now listen carefully, because the final lesson of this story is the most important part. Here's what I want you to carry with you tonight. Anger is not strength. Anger is a confession of pain you haven't healed yet. Every time you explode on someone you love, you're not showing power, you're showing wounds. The words you say in 10 seconds of anger can take 10 years to repair, and sometimes they never repair at all. So the next time you feel that fire rising, stop, breathe, and ask yourself one question. Is what I'm about to say worth the hole it will leave behind? Control your anger, or your anger will control your life. Don't be the reason someone writes, "I'm sorry, I'm useless." Be the reason they write, "Thank you for believing in me." This is your sign. Change starts now.
An old monk once said, "The mind is like a glass of water. When you keep stirring it, it stays cloudy. But the moment you stop, everything becomes clear." Today, I'm going to tell you a short story, but if you truly listen, it might silence the storm inside your head forever. In a quiet village tucked between tall green mountains, there lived a young man named Kai. He was 26 years old. From the outside, he looked fine. He had a roof over his head, he had food on his table, he had people around him. But inside, he was drowning. His mind never stopped. It was like a river that never rested. Thoughts came crashing in, one after another, like waves that refused to calm down. He would lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying every mistake he had ever made. And when morning came, his chest would tighten with fear of what tomorrow might bring. He smiled in front of others, but behind that smile was a man who had forgotten what peace felt like. He tried everything. He tried keeping busy. He tried sleeping longer. He even tried running away from his own thoughts. But no matter where he went, his mind followed. One evening, while sitting alone by the river, an old woman passed by. She looked at his tired face and said something that changed the direction of his life. "An old teacher," she whispered, "who lives at the top of the eastern hills. People say he once healed broken minds in the city. Now he lives alone, close to the sky. If anyone can help you, it is him." That night, Kai could not sleep, but this time it was different. It was not worry keeping him awake, it was hope. Before the sun could rise, he packed a small bag, laced his worn-out shoes, and began walking toward the hills. The journey was brutal. His feet ached, the sun scorched his skin, sharp stones cut through his soles, but something deep inside him whispered, "Keep going, you are almost there." After 3 long days, he finally reached the top. And there, surrounded by silence and wildflowers, stood a tiny wooden house. Smoke rose gently from the chimney, and on a wooden chair outside sat the old man, eyes closed, breathing slowly, as if the entire world had paused around him. Kai approached him quietly and said, "Teacher, I have come a very long way. My mind is a battlefield. Thoughts attack me day and night. I have no peace. Please show me how to make it stop." The old man opened his eyes slowly. He did not speak at first. He just looked at Kai deeply, as if he was reading every wound hidden beneath the surface. Then he smiled softly and said, "You want peace?" Kai nodded desperately. "Then come with me," said the old man. "I will not give you advice. I will give you an experience." He led Kai to a small stone table in the garden. On it sat a simple glass. The old man picked up a clay jug and poured water into the glass, slowly, carefully, filling it all the way to the very top. One more drop and it would overflow. He placed the glass gently into Kai's hands and said, "Walk to the end of the village path and come back, but listen carefully. Do not let a single drop fall, not one." Kai looked at him, confused, but he did not argue. He held the glass with both hands and began to walk. The path was uneven. Stones lay scattered across the ground. Children ran past him, laughing and shouting. A dog barked loudly behind a wooden fence. Merchants called out prices in the market square. The wind blew hard against his face. But Kai noticed none of it. His eyes were locked on the water. His breathing slowed. His steps became careful, measured, present. The noise around him faded. The chaos disappeared. And for the first time in years, his mind was completely silent. When he finally returned to the old man, his hands steady, the water untouched, he whispered, "I did it. Not a single drop fell." The old man nodded slowly. Then he asked, "Tell me, did you hear the children playing?" "No." "Did the dogs barking disturb you?" "No." "Were you thinking about your past?" "No." "Were you afraid of your future?" "No. I was only here." The old man placed his hand gently on Kai's shoulder and said, "Now you understand. The peace you traveled 3 days to find was never in these mountains. It was always inside you. The moment you gave your mind one single point of focus, the present moment, every fear disappeared. Every regret vanished. Your mind became still, like calm water. You see, Kai, your mind is not your enemy. You simply never learned how to quiet it. When you live in the past, you carry pain. When you live in the future, you carry fear. But when you live right here, right now, you carry nothing. And that is freedom." Something shifted deep inside Kai's chest. His eyes filled with tears, not of sadness, but of relief. For the first time in his entire life, he felt light. As the sun melted behind the mountains, painting the sky in shades of gold and fire, Kai began his long walk home. But he was not the same man who had arrived. His steps were slower now, not because he was tired, but because he was finally present. So tonight, I leave you with this one thought. You do not need to empty your mind by force. You just need to give it a reason to be still. Focus on this moment, just this one moment, because this moment is the only one that is truly real. If this story touched something inside you, press that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this tonight, and subscribe, because every week we share stories that might just change the way you see your life. Until next time, breathe slowly, live gently, and remember, peace was never something to find. It was always something to return to.
There was a young man named Kael who was trapped inside a prison no one could see. Not a prison made of walls or chains, a prison made of thoughts. Every morning, Kael woke, and before his feet even touched the floor, his mind was already attacking him. You're not good enough. Everyone is ahead of you. Something bad is going to happen today. The thoughts never stopped. They followed him to work. They followed him to dinner with friends. They followed him to bed and screamed the loudest when the world went quiet. He tried everything: meditation apps, positive affirmations, breathing exercises.
Nothing worked, because he was fighting the wrong enemy. He wasn't fighting the world. He was at war with his own mind. And he was losing. One evening, Kyle couldn't take it anymore. He left his apartment and started walking. No direction, no plan. He walked past streets he'd never seen, past buildings he'd never noticed, until he found himself standing in front of a small, forgotten garden at the edge of the city. And there, sitting on a stone bench, feeding birds from her hand, was an old woman. She looked up at him, and without a word, she smiled, as if she'd been expecting him. "Sit down, child," she said. "You look like someone who has been running from something you cannot outrun." Kyle sat down, and for the first time in months, he told someone the truth. "My mind won't stop," he said. "It's like a voice that never shuts up. It tells me I'm failing. It tells me nothing will get better. I can't control it." The old woman listened. She didn't rush. She didn't judge. She simply listened. Then she opened her eyes and said something Kyle would never forget. "You said you cannot control your mind," she whispered. "But tell me, who is the one watching the thoughts?" Kyle blinked. "What do you mean?" "Right now, a thought is telling you that you are weak, but you are hearing that thought. So who are you, the thought or the one hearing it?" Kyle froze. He had never thought about it that way. The old woman continued, "Your mind is like a river. Thoughts flow through it like water, constantly, endlessly. Most people fall into the river. They get swept away by every thought, every fear, every worry. But the wise ones, they learn to sit on the bank and simply watch the river flow. You cannot stop the river, child. You were never meant to. Thoughts will come, dark ones, scary ones, angry ones. Your only job is to not jump in." Kyle felt something crack open inside his chest. Not pain, something else. Relief. "So I don't have to fight my thoughts?" he asked. She smiled. "Fighting them gives them power. Watching them takes it away. Remember this, child. You are not your thoughts. You are the sky. Your thoughts are just the weather. Storms come, but the sky remains." Kyle walked home that night a different man, not because his thoughts had stopped, but because for the first time he realized he didn't have to believe every thought that crossed his mind.
The next morning, he woke up, and the voice was there, as usual. "You're going to fail today." But this time, Kale didn't fight it. He didn't argue. He simply said, "I hear you, but I'm getting up anyway." And he got up, day after day, not because the thoughts disappeared, but because he stopped letting them drive. He started sleeping better, not perfectly, but better. He started talking to people again, not hiding, not pretending. He started creating, writing, building, not because he felt confident, but because he stopped waiting to feel confident. Months later, people noticed. "You've changed," they said. Kale just smiled, because the real change wasn't something anyone could see. It was inside, in the space between a thought and his reaction to it. That tiny space, that pause, became his superpower. He went back to the garden one evening to thank the old woman, but the bench was empty. She was gone. So let me ask you something tonight. How long have you been drowning in your own thoughts? How many nights has your own mind kept you awake, replaying conversations that don't matter, imagining disasters that never come? Here's the truth most people will never understand. You cannot stop thinking, and you were never supposed to. Your only job is to stop believing that every thought is true. You are not your anxiety. You are not your fear. You are not that voice telling you you're not enough. You are the sky, and no storm, no matter how dark, no matter how loud, has ever destroyed the sky. So tonight, don't fight your thoughts. Just watch them. Let them come. Let them go. And remember, you are not the storm. You are the one watching the storm pass. And the storm always passes.